Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And welcome to the channel if you're new here, if you've never been here before. Spirit has guided you here. A lot of you are here because one of my videos came up in a suggested videos on YouTube. That's Spirit's way of leading you to exactly what you need. It may be that there's something in this reading that you need, but it also may be that there's something in one of my old videos that is meant for you now. So just scroll through my old videos and look at the titles and see if anything stands out for you in the titles. No matter when it was, all the readings are meant to be timeless. So just scroll through the videos, and if anything stands out for you in the title, click on that one. There might be something in there for you meant for now. There have been a lot of people who have reached out to me or commented on old videos from this time, right around the time of the Lionsgate portal last year and the year before that. I had posted some videos then, and 2 years ago especially, that it's been coming up in their suggested readings, and people are commenting on it like, wow, this is really just resonating so deeply for me right now. And so there were messages and codes that were planted, 111 on my recording, were planted back then, meant for right now, because you are at a certain stage of your expansion that you're ready to hear them now. And so go back and take a look at those, okay? I have had such frustrating, 20 minutes now, 1:33 on my recording, trying to get, and that 33, the 133, 33 is the master number for Jesus for me. And so it's like he keeps trying to come in and keeps trying to come in. And there's something in me that's been resisting it. I've had this really frustrating time just trying to record this intro. There's a really scattered energy there, and there's so many things that I want to say, so many things that I know I'm supposed to say, so many things that my human being who wants to tell you about all the new things that I have coming up and services that I offer and stuff like that, that person wants to say. And it's like I can't merge them all together. I can't figure out how to bring it all together. And I've stopped and started this video like 20 times. And I'm just I just get to a point where I'm trying really hard, and I'm trying to remind you guys about this, and I'm wanting to implement this new change and offer this thing to you guys. And it's like once the masculine side of me starts to step in, the action-oriented, the logistical one, the one who wants to say all of the kind of businessy things, see, totally blanking out, totally. It's just like there's something in me that stops me from doing that. So there's either resistance in me, or I'm not supposed to be talking about that right now. I really do trust my intuition, and I trust the flow of things and the way that they go. And so, I trust that if I'm being blanked out like that, there's a reason for it. Maybe I need to explore a little more where that block is coming from, where the blank is coming from. If I explore that and it ends up the message is that Spirit didn't want me to talk about that right now, then okay. But it really has to do with when I start talking about stuff with the channel. Make sure that you subscribe. See? Subscribe, share, hit the notification bell so that you're notified every time I post a video, all of the businessy, all of the checklist stuff that I want to tell you guys about. I have a reading giveaway that I'm putting together. If you purchase an extended reading from now until Lionsgate, I'm going to put all the information for that down in the box below the channel. Maybe it is that I just don't need to talk about it right now, that you guys can just read about it. But it's frustrating me. It's all of this really scattered masculine energy that I can't bring together all in one place. So I wanted to explore that just a little bit. And it's been going on all morning, not just with this video, but since I sat down to try to get some work done. And it's like an energy of exploring and work. It's like work. When you sit down with the intention to work, and action is very kind of masculine. When I sit down with that intention, something that's slowing me down. There's something that's blocking me. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that when we sit down to work, when we think of work, the intention is to work because we need money instead of to work because we have a mission to fulfill. And there are things that you guys need to know about. There's a feeling of anxiousness in my tummy. There's self-worth issues that are being cleared from the solar plexus or being brought to the surface. There's fear around money. And so there's this underlying thought process, without realizing it, that I need to go to work because I really need the money right now. And we're being asked to shift that, to step into work mode, step into masculine mode, apply all of these things because of the wonderful things she does. I just heard that song. Because there is a part of you that's emerging that is deeply authentic to you that other people need, that other people are desiring, and they are wanting to become their authentic selves too. And so as you step into that, as I step into that, you're being drawn to that. I'm being drawn to that. That is my work. That's work. Not going to work, sitting down for work because money needs to be made. Can't get away from that because money does need to be made. We have all bills to pay. So I want to explore that a little bit, okay? So I sat down and I was pulling some cards and I did a spread for myself and it's starting to make a little bit of sense. But I also needed to talk through it with you guys. I know this because I started pulling cards from this deck, which is I haven't used yet. A friend of mine, a client of mine, a student of mine, a really beautiful friend of mine, Danette Byatt, made this deck. It's called You've Got This. It's very feisty. It's very sassy. It's very straightforward. It's very funny masculine, which is, again, Jesus coming in because the way that he shows up for me is in a really funny way. He's got a good sense of humor in kind of a punny way and kind of a sassy way, and sometimes just like really sarcastic sometimes. And 733 on my recording, 33 is showing up again. And that's kind of the energy that I feel from this deck by Danette. So I'm going to put all of her information down in the box below as well. If you guys want to purchase this deck, if you like the cards that I'm going to show you guys, please go down and support her. This is such a really, it's so fun. It's so different than so many, and I have 70 decks of cards. So I have no variety when it comes to cards. So she sent this to me so that I could try it out, and God love her. Thank you so much for that. I'm really loving them right now, and now is the time to show these to you guys because you're also needing that little bit of a boost. They're pretty straightforward too, in a funny way, but also really poignant and kind of I'm just gonna tell you how it is. Okay, so 3 cards came out, and this first one, a hop and a skip and a jump in timelines. So it's kind of like that scattered energy that I was saying, that scattered kind of all over the place. I've got this idea and I've got this idea, but I've also got to work on this, and I've got to do my website, and I've got to do like all of the background stuff, all of the foundational stuff, so that when I post videos, I can give you the link of where you need to go, but I need to work on that link first. But I would rather be doing this. I don't want to have to do all of that background stuff. I wish I just had someone that worked with me that could do all of those logistical things, and I could spend more time on these videos. I would have that more focused energy there. But that's kind of that's what they're saying. That's what's going on, is I'm jumping all kinds of different timelines. There's the option to go down this road and to do this, and then the result of having worked on my website instead of doing this video would have led me to this other place over here. But then there's all these other options. So another timeline is playing, and I tune into that timeline, and then that one flows forward, and something else, a different result, comes out of that one. but I'm not stepping forward onto any one of them. It's just like, I see like 6 different timelines right now, all of these different things that I could be doing, but that masculine energy in me that pushes me forward on and chooses whichever one to go on, it's like stalled. It's like I stalled. The only one I want to step on is the one where my feminine is, where my intuition is, where my emotion is, the one that feels really good, the one that feels like flow, the one that feels like I'm really leaning into my gifts, the one that wants to read cards, the one that wants to come on here and talk to you guys, the one that is expressive, the one that is creative. That's the one that I want to lean on. So what that's saying really is the masculine energy is really wanting to choose whatever timeline leads to the feminine, okay? And that also applies to externally in your counterpart journey that you're on right now. So as that masculine energy comes out of me, the feminine is calling that in. So how do I figure out how to do and to move forward? The masculine right now is naturally being drawn towards the feminine. And so in order to do, we need to lean into being. Okay, so that was the first one, a hop, skip, and a jumpin' timelines. Snap, crackle, and pop out of it. It's almost like, choose. Just choose. Which one feels good? Which one do you want to do? Which one do you want more than anything else to do? Just choose that one and go with it. Whichever timeline you choose is the one that you're supposed to be on. And when you tune into the feminine energy on that timeline, let's say I chose to work on my website instead of doing this video. I was totally blanked out when I said that too, because the feeling inside of me is bleh. I don't want to do that though. It sounds torturous. It sounds like not my jam. Doesn't feel like a waste of time because I know that it needs to be done. And I know that it's super valuable. And my website actually, I'm switching over to a new one that actually Danette helped me to start on, to put the basis of it together. And now it's time for me and my masculine to step in and start doing the things that I need to do on it. Whether that's, but in my mind, that looks like me actually having to do those last parts of it too. But that's not leaning into my feminine energy enough and my intuition and my feeling that doing is also being. So facilitating the completion of my website and the work that needs to be done on it does not necessarily mean that I need to do the work, but the masculine in me is facilitating that work getting done. So maybe it's leaning into my feminine and calling in the energy of someone who specializes in that in order to really maximize what it's meant to be. Maybe it's that I'm not meant to work on it. I'm not the one that's supposed to do all of that technical work. I'm supposed to lean into my feminine and open myself up to asking for help. Asking for help. But the thing that holds me back is, like I talked about in the beginning, money. Looking at the energy exchange that needs to happen as money. And I don't have the money to be able to pay somebody right now, so I don't reach out and ask for help. And I just go back and forth and go back and forth. Either way, when I choose that timeline, if I say, okay, I'm going to work on my website, then what you do, you're being led towards your feminine energy also. Each one of those is going to lead to it, and that feminine is going to speak to you. You just have to tune into it. Feminine energy is also emotions and the flow of emotions. So when I step onto that timeline and start working on my website, what feeling does that elicit? What is my feminine telling me? The feeling that it elicits is dread, lack of focus, lack of understanding, this like brick wall, and sadness, and it's like being back in school, or I don't love schoolwork. It's like doing schoolwork. It's not fun for me. It's not fulfilling for me. 1212 on my clock, which is also the number 33 when it breaks down. Those feelings that come up, it's like drains my energy. It drains me. I feel drained. That's what I feel. So did I choose the wrong timeline if that was the one that I chose? It's not the wrong timeline. It's just that choice point of what it is that you are meant to work on. You chose that one, and it showed you the depth of your feeling and how that was speaking to you. So your feminine was speaking to you and saying, you working on it is not necessarily the way to get it done. So stepping onto that timeline is facilitating and searching for, putting the word out there that you need some help with it, and putting the word out there is the masculine. It's facilitating getting that work done. It doesn't necessarily need to be that your expectation of how that gets accomplished is how you thought it was. So then you get to a certain point on that timeline, and then you have another choice point. You can choose to step onto another timeline and just say, okay, I started doing all of this stuff. It feels like a waste of time for me to be working on it because it's just draining me. And I'm not really moving forward. I'm not really getting anywhere with it. It's taking a really, really long time for me to figure these things out when someone else who specializes in it could do it just like that. And in the meantime, I could be leaning on to another timeline and delivering these messages and blah, blah, blah. So, okay, so you chose that one. It wasn't a mistake. You're listening to as long as you listen to your feminine and sit still in it and recognize that, okay, I have another choice point right now. I need to look at this from a different perspective. I need to choose someone else to help me with this, put the word out for that maybe we can do an energy exchange. Stop thinking along the lines and really keeping myself in a box by saying payment is always money. Payment is an energy exchange for to balance out giving and receiving. And so maybe it's not money, maybe it is my services, or maybe it's a light language transmission, or maybe it's a healing or something that I am able to do. Maybe it's a guidance session to help draw them out of the depth of their power. Maybe it's to help have them be seen, which is one of my gifts too, bringing people out and really seeing them, having them be seen by putting their name up on here, by helping them to be seen when it comes to the work that they do, their website work or their cards or whatever it is. That's an energy exchange for them as well. And so that's a payment exchange. Maybe that can happen. Not thinking so linear. And then when I get to the point of being able to see that, okay, I have another choice. I'm going to stop working on that, and I'm going to choose to do a video instead because my masculine is leading me to my feminine energy and the expression. So thinking along those lines, those were all of the choices that I had. And I did choose to work on my website just a little bit, and I was like, hell no. Wanted to come back on here, but I pulled a couple of cards first. Danette is the one who had started working on my website in the first place, and I remembered that she had cards that she had sent me. And so I started to pull those. I pulled them for myself. They came out, and it was just like, okay, I get it. I understand what you're saying. So snap, crackle, and pop out of it. This really is about choosing. Just choose that timeline. Go with that. Listen to the energies and the feelings that are coming up within you, and then you're going to be offered another choice point. Decide then too. Just decide. Stop thinking about it. Stop overthinking it, and just decide. So that's what I did. I grabbed her cards. I sat down here. I realized, oh, okay, that's what's happening. That's why it's so scattered right now. It's because of all of these different timelines. And it's really just like, choose. Okay. So it made so much sense. I'm like, all right, I'm going to share these, and I'm going to make a video about it. I just need to talk through the things that I have going on. And that's when my flow, that's when I start moving best of all. Your deadliest weapon is your voice. Pew, pew. And I was like, okay, I just need to talk about it. Transmutation for me comes in the form of talking and expression and working through it, taking the energies from my mind and speaking them out. And so it was another way for me to choose that other timeline. I kept going back to, I was so scattered because I kept going back to those other timelines and thinking and second guessing myself and saying, but I should do that one. I should do that one. That's the one that is the one that's going to, I don't know, that's doing, right? That's doing. But choosing the timeline where I express myself and work through the energy of all of these things is going to lead to, it is still masculine action. I am doing, but I'm being at the same time and working through the energies that are scattered right now. So choosing that timeline. Choosing the timeline where I stop working on my website and then I come over here and I do something that is very expressive and connecting to my voice and connecting to the codes in my voice is exactly what I needed to do. Okay, so essentially, what's the point? What's the point of this? The point is that energy is scattered for a lot of people right now, because there are a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and there's a lot of regret that's coming up in the field. So people are thinking about past decisions, and either regretting them or wishing they had done them differently and wanting to change the decision that was made instead of embracing the decision that was made and learning from it and making a different decision now. How can you step onto a new timeline? How can you release those old patterns and those old ways of being and those old systems of doubt? I hear and then I just heard system of the down. I don't know much about system of the down, but for some of you that might be a specific reference to tie you into this. Those old patterns of doubting yourself. The full moon is bringing up those old patterns. We're not out of the energy of the full moon yet. And they're wanting me to do a separate reading. I'm going to do a separate full moon reading to find out what those patterns are, what those things are that we're meant to be releasing. What is it that we can't see right now that we are meant to be releasing? Because there's some things that have started to be brought up into your field and started to be released since the full moon. 33% on my battery right now. Since the full moon on Friday, I think it was, but we're not out of the energy just yet. There's still something that's needing to be released, something needing to be seen, something that's hidden right now in our subconscious that is meant to be seen. So I'm going to do a separate reading for that. I'll just do a full moon spread. I have a new spread that I found that I want to use, and I don't use spreads very often. So I came across that spread in the card reading workshop that I did the other night, which was really amazing and so powerful. And I just love doing it so much. And I'm going to be offering another one pretty soon. Card reading, energy reading workshop, really tuning you into you as an energetic being and a very sensory person, very sensitive, energetic, sensitive person, learning about yourself, understanding what it is that you're actually doing when you read cards and the energies that you're reading. I'm going to be offering that again soon, so I'll put all the information for that down in the box below. See, scattered again. Scattered. It's like, where do I go with that? What do I do next? How do I bring all of this stuff together? Let's find out. There's a card on the bottom. Dance, dance, and don't forget to dance. Movement. It's definitely about movement, making sure that you're physically moving. That's a very masculine energy. For some of you, it is actually dancing 12:21 on my clock, so this is a mirror number. It's a mirror. Dancing in the mirror. That's what I hear. Dancing in the mirror, letting yourself move. Doing some mirror work also, speaking to yourself in the mirror. And when I just open my eyes, this is a mirror because I see myself on the screen. So it really is about talking to yourself, bringing yourself out. And I just hear ringing. I just hear ringing. So they're just wanting me to tune in on the silence. And there is nothing that we don't need to bring it to a close. We just need to bring it to a place of calm and stillness and stasis. The full moon reading is going to help to shed a little bit more light. They're really just wanting you to choose and then move the energy. Choose and move. Choose and move. That's what I hear. Choose. And your voice, your deadliest weapon is your voice. So speak through it. For some of you, it is mirror work, speaking to yourself, speaking affirmations in the mirror. Bring it to a place of stasis. So really right now, all you need to do is just take a deep breath and just listen. Just listen for the actual sounds that you're hearing right now. Listen to your breath. That's what they're saying, is just listen to your breath. Listen to your breath, and you're going to feel into something coming up for you. Okay? That feels really unsure for me. That feels like, I don't know. Just listen. They're saying listen. And as I did that, my air conditioner unit just came on. For some of you, it's about meditation. It really is about the different types of meditation, really listening to your inner voice. Turn your inner critic off and learn to listen to your authentic self. How does your authentic self speak to you if it's not the voice in your head, if it's not your inner voice? Your authentic self speaks to you through feelings, through nudges, through your other senses, not just your inner critic is what I hear. A lot of you are making decisions according to your inner critic. And I should do this or I should do that, instead of what your authentic self is telling you to do. I hear she speaks to you from your stomach, from that feeling in your stomach, from your knowing, from your psychic senses, from your intuition. Today, make choices from your intuitive senses. Go with what feels good. What feels good right now? What emotions are speaking to you? If there is anxiety speaking to you, listen to it, use it, express it, and move. Sometimes your anxiety is built up because you haven't danced in a while, because you haven't moved, because you haven't expressed yourself in a physical way that is also creative. And I'm hearing listen, really listen. And listening is not just with your ears or with your mind, listening with your body, Tune into the sensations in your body too. Like, I'm just feeling into my body, and I'm thinking, what sensations do I feel in my body right now? And my feet are very cold. They feel a little bit numb because I've been sitting here for a little while. And so, like, my feet are numb. So what are they trying to tell me? It's like it's hard for me to feel the connection between my feet and the floor. And they're showing me grounding, like really just walking outside, walking and putting my feet in the grass. The sharper texture and sensory experience of feeling the grass on my feet is going to wake them up. It's going to ground me. It's going to bring me back to that place of groundedness. So my higher self is telling me to kind of ground myself a little bit right now and move in order to choose. It's going to bring in, so grounding in that way is going to bring in another choice point for me. And then I get to that choice point and I choose and I go. Not second guessing, not saying, is this the right timeline? Is this not the right timeline? Choosing, going, tuning into my feelings in my body. And how does that feel then? How does that feel then? How does that feel then? And listening to that higher self speaking in that way, instead of that voice in my head that always doubts myself and does things according to what I think other people want me to do. Okay? All right. I hope that makes sense for you guys. Keep your heads up for the full moon reading coming up in just a little bit if you're watching this back later. Today is July 26th. The momentum is towards the Lionsgate portal is what they're mentioning again. It's just opening. The portal gateway is just opening today, really, and moving us into massive potential and opening. And that's why we're needing to learn how it is that we navigate when these different choice points come up. Okay, I hope all of that made sense for you guys. If you want to book a private reading with me, the information for that is down in the box below. Right now my website is down, so if you click on my website, it's not going to take you anywhere. Make sure you click on the link that's down there right now. I have a temporary website that's up if you're looking for more guidance and to tune into all of this stuff for yourself personally. Click on that and book one of the sessions down there. Okay? All right. Talk to you guys soon.